Welcome back to Fostering Communication, the show where we get honest about our people, our customers, and what it means to serve like family. Todd Wyrick, our Dream Manager, he's probably been on this show more than anyone. And guess what? He's back. But this time, we're going to do something a little different. You see, Todd and I can go deep from time to time when discussing life or various life philosophies. So we decided to have a little fun today. We're each going to bring a quote to the show, and we're going to unpack the implications of those words, not only on business, but on leadership and life. This one's going to be fun. Let's dig in. I've got none other than Mr. Todd Wyrick with me, the AKA Dream Manager, the AKA Corporate Chaplain, the AKA Man of All Things here at Call Dad. Everybody knows Todd.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Is there a person that doesn't know Todd? All right. I freaked him out because I pulled out. I told him that there's zero script to this conversation today at all, like no script at all. And then I pulled this out, and he's freaking out because he's like, "What is it like? You told me,
yeah, you have
what
words.
And I'll share the context in a second. But like he told me it was going to be one way, and then you pull out a piece of paper.
I know it is unfair.
So I'm going to read.
I'm freaked out by the clock. By the way.
I'm going to start this with a quote from chat. Or whatever system is coordinating this, which is sometimes one sentence can completely change the way you see business, leadership, or life.
I like that. Yeah, I agree.
And then it
Mine
goes
is
on
one
to
sentence,
say,
by the way.
Todd and I today are going to be talking about quotes. So I did something recently over the past few months where I was trying to write down a quote a day. Sometimes it would be a one-liner. You know a lot. I've had a lot of Mark Twain that you and I have been discussing lately. Sometimes it's just some random Stoic philosopher or whatever it may be.
Marcus Aurelius.
But just been trying to do that personally. Is every single day find something that means something good, bad, ugly, whatever it is to me. So I told Todd, because Todd and I go back on these old philosophical conversations. I said, let's sit down and each throw out a quote, and then talk about the meaning of it. So we do not know what the other person's going to say. I have no clue what Todd's quote is. He shared that it's one line.
Short and sweet.
My quote, I was going to pick a single quote, and then I went into like more of a passage out of a book.
Okay.
So it's a little
much
different.
better than mine.
There was one that I had already. So anyway, we're going to kick this off. I'm going to go first. We're going to talk about it for a little bit, and then Todd's going to go. And the main gist is like how this impacts not only us, those around us, the business, community, family, all that type of stuff. So I figured it would just be open dialogue.
Like it.
All right.
I love this. This is my dream, by the way.
But this is no different than conversations that you and I had, 12 years ago now?
It's not been 12.
It has been 12. Because when was Clean Kids?
No, it was 2015,
right? Wasn't it 15? Anyway.
Wow.
We're showing our age because we're both gray hair and we can't even remember. Okay. Here comes my passage.
Okay.
I'm already breaking the rules.
All right. I'm ready for it.
All right. You ready?
Sean, did I not just say I'm ready for it?
All right, Sean, can we cut this out? I'm going to ask everybody one more time, are you ready? And then Todd's going to act like he's excited.
Can you get a big happy smile?
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
That's my quote.
I'm really ready.
It just keeps asking, "Are you ready?" over and over and over again.
Ready, damn it, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. There is no true personal sin, as in there is nothing negative you can do that doesn't somehow impact other people. It is like throwing a rock into the middle of a pond. It may seem like nothing, but there is not a single shoreline that doesn't feel the stone's presence. You may not be completely responsible, but if only by a drop, you bear that responsibility to understand that everything is connected and you have an impact. It's like passing by a small child in anger. You may not realize, but that child feels it. Everything flows like water.
You just don't know how timely this is.
All right, so like, what's your? That's, by the way, that's one of the like quotes or passages that I wrote to myself over the past. Really, I started at the beginning of Lent. I'm not trying to make this religious, but like throughout Lent, every single day I was writing a quote, and that's one that I wrote down.
My oldest, we were sitting downstairs yesterday afternoon, and I said, "Hey, Bubs, why don't you clean the kitchen for your mom?" And he said, "They're not my dishes." I said, "Well, like, I know they're not your dishes today, but there have been plenty of times when your mom has cleaned your dishes. So why don't you clean the? Well, they're not like my dishes." And so that led into a conversation about community. What does it mean to live in community with people, right? You can't, and that's what hit me there, right?
Yeah.
Like, our actions impact other people, and the emphasis of what you were saying is our bad actions, our sinful actions, can impact people in a negative way. Well, the reverse of that is our good actions can impact people in a positive way. And so we had this very extensive conversation about what does it mean to live in community? Because I think he quite honestly struggles with that. He isolates himself a lot, and it was just a real wrestling match of trying to help him understand, like, you need community. You're at a point in your life where you can't live on your own. You can't afford to live on your own. So community is really, really important.
Yeah.
Right? For you in particular at this moment in your life, community is really, really important. But you have a part to play. Like, you're no longer a child. You're now an adult in a community, and you have to start taking serious your citizenship in that community. And that's what hit me from that is, there are ripples that last a while. Like, I can tell you negative impacts, the sins of others have caused in my life for sure. And I'm sure my sins too have left long ripples as well throughout my 58 years of life. But I was trying to do the reverse with him yesterday and say, like, your mom hates a messy kitchen. She's out walking the dog after a long day of dealing with the dog. This is your opportunity to surprise her, because what's going to happen when she comes back? She's going to complain about all the dishes in the sink. She's going to get frustrated. She's going to hammer away at you at the dishes being in the sink. You're going to respond to her, well, they're not my dishes. A fight's going to ensue. The dog's going to go crazy. And this is where we're at. All of that could be alleviated right now by doing this positive act that then, to the point of that, ripples out.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm going to go two different paths here. I'm going to go to what it meant to me when I wrote it down. But first I'm going to start with like what it meant to me when I read it today before I picked that one, right? Mm-hmm. And it kind of fits more in line with what you're saying right now, or what your immediate reaction was to the passage. But it was like, you've heard me say this a million times. I know now because I said it at the last company meeting. Some people have heard me say this as well, but that happiness is the most powerful emotion, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day whether it's yours or not. Meaning, if you focus more so on deriving happiness from making others happy, you can ultimately find happiness through that. And sometimes we're so focused on, envy or, pride or whatever it may be, that we miss the fact, like, that's not my plates. Like, that's the focus, as opposed to how can I help my mom?
Yeah, right.
Right. And it's like, if you just make that mental switch in your head that my job is to serve those around me. Like, that's my purpose in life, is to make my wife happy, my kids happy, and all those that call Dad happy. Like if that's my purpose in life,
Yeah.
it's hard not to be fulfilled. I'm not going to make everyone happy. That's not what I mean by that. But it's like
God
if I look through doing dishes in that lens, you know, someone used to say, you know, in our house you got to line up for dishes. It's like get in line, you know. And I think I'm not saying I'm good at this, by the way. I'm not. I struggle with this like every person. But that's where my head is probably more on when I read it today.
Yeah.
In line with your response. Where my head was mentally when I wrote it down was honestly more along the lines of like that personal nature. Like I'm in a bad mood, right? And I walk in the house and I just walk straight up to the bedroom to change. I don't say hi to the kids. I don't, you know, they say, hey, Dad, good to see you. Run up and give me a hug. And I kind of just move past it because I'm carrying whatever weight I walked in that door with.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, in my head, like I'm being good because I'm not letting them feel it. I'm not being a bad dad. I'm not saying something. I'm
the worst possible outcome.
Correct. But what they see is silence.
Yeah.
They see frustration. They feel that stress. Yeah. And I think I've always in my head thought that that's okay. Like that's better. But that presence of like there is no personal sin, meaning you can't do drugs and alcohol. Like you think that it's only impacting you.
Yeah.
So it makes it okay.
Yeah.
But then when you look broadly at, you know, the ripple effects of some of those things, like to me, that's a good example of like something that has broader strokes and broader implications than just, you know, bottling something up or holding it in. So like when I first read it, I was like, I need to do a better job of being present, realizing my mood and not carrying that weight into personal interactions.
Yeah. The loss of self is the key, right? I think in my life, what I've not only observed in myself but others is if you can ever reach a point where you truly lose yourself in the service to other people or the service to your God or whatever, service to community, that's the magic pill. Because when you think about all of our struggles in life, so many of them start with self. They start with how I compare myself to someone else, how I compare my family to the family next door, how I compare to myself 40 years ago, right? But it's a self-centric view of life that it would.
Well, it brings up that, not to just keep throwing out quotes, but what is it? Is it envy is the worst of the 7 deadly sins?
I don't know.
Because you get nothing out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like at least with like gluttony, you get you get
you're
food, right? Like you're at least there's some potential joy in all the other sins. Yeah. But when you look at envy, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Like what do you get out of envy?
Yeah.
But it's what like I can tell you at Call Dad. I can tell you outside of Call Dad in life, like that one that you're talking about, right? Like that destroys more careers. Sure. That destroys more families. That destroys more things than probably anything else out there.
Yeah, we talked recently about an additional conversation we've had about expectations, right?
Yeah.
Expectations, again, are about self. It's about, I've grown up with this idyllic mindset of what life should be, what married life should be. God knows what a fallacy that is, right? Like, and so when we grow up, and I think it's even harder in America, quite honestly, because, you know, I drive from Lancaster into Charlotte. And you can drive an hour and a half into a place and you can clearly see have-nots and haves.
Yeah.
And so in America, we don't live in a society where we're all kind of on a level. We're constantly reminded of what people have above us and what people don't have beneath us. And so we're constantly striving, longing, wanting selfishly more stuff or more things or more, to your point earlier, happiness, whatever the hell happiness is. And I think it's once we stop striving and we just kind of invest in the people around us. Like
Yeah.
literal that investment in the people around us, that sense of service. How can I help you be better?
Yeah.
Not what can you do for me? You no longer are the utile in my life. It's more, what can I do to I'll be honest with you, it's one of the things I struggle the most with in dealing with people. Like I just want people to be better. I want people to experience. I cry. This is no lie. I cry probably on a weekly basis because I get down this stupid YouTube rabbit hole of somebody has experienced a joyful moment. Marina's come back from the service, or a little orphan kid is being adopted and his parents are giving it, and I weep because I'm moved by people experiencing something they didn't think that they could experience in life.
You know what video gets me all the time right now is again, it sounds contrived, like I'm trying to tie this back, but Chelsea.
It's a great one.
Yeah. When
if
that
you
ticket
watch
was pulled out, like that video, I'm so glad that I took that video from my angle, because like you can just see, and it's like that undescribable joy.
Yeah.
And I think, like, going back to your earlier point, it's like,
hold on a second. Let me say this before you make that point. If you, Sean, go back and watch the video, if you still have it on me, I turn away because I'm tearing up. I go so moved. For one, Chelsea's had on her PDP.
yeah,
Stuff that pertains.
Yeah.
There's not another ticket I would have rather pulled from that box.
Yeah.
But to your point, just the
Todd doesn't mean that. Todd loves you all.
just the
I'm
point,
joking.
just the
Todd does mean that.
unfiltered joy,
Yeah.
including the F-bomb she dropped in the beginning.
We'll censor that.
Was just so like, that's the stuff that moves me, and that's what frustrates me, because that's what selfish people don't experience, right?
I think, like, all right, so tying this in to work and then it's like what I struggled with the most when I was kind of transitioning from manager to leader was that dynamic of not feeling like I was achieving anything, or not feeling like I was getting traction, or not that fulfill, like you expect some level of fulfillment, right?
Mm.
And I think where I ultimately found it, and hopefully you can attest for this through the years, but it was like what I would do is instead focus on certain people, and I would be like, I'm going to invest heavily in this individual and heavily in their development over the course of an extended period of time. Like, even when I don't have time, or even when I'm distracted by all means, back to like that, carrying that burden in front of your kids and all that, it's like I'm going to make the time to sit down and have the thoughtful conversation to help. And it's like if you can instead transition that focus of like, where am I and where is my progress, to supporting the progress of those around you, like all of a sudden that's legitimately rising tide floats all boats. It's like there is no quicker way to feel fulfilled and actually achieve success than to raise those around you.
That's the pinnacle PDPs. The pinnacle PDPs will not be 500 employees achieving their goals. It'll be 500 employees who've achieved their goals and who have invested in others to achieve their goals.
Yeah.
Right? That's the community part of it.
Yeah.
Without it, it's just 500 people that have worked hard
Yeah.
and performed at high levels and accomplished stuff. The culture in the community will come from, hey, what's your goal? What's your aspiration?
Yeah.
You're sitting over the lunch table and saying, so, hey, I just had my PDP with Todd, my manager, and I just told him, like, I just got my dream car. Like, it's so awesome.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Yeah.
And the sharing of our aspirations and our dreams and our goals, but also then, well, let me hold you accountable to that. Like, oh, me too. Like, I'm struggling with weight loss, or I'm struggling with, getting over this challenge in life, or I want the same. Oh, I too want to go to Japan, and so let's help one another get there. I think that's the pinnacle. But again, it's about service. It's about moving beyond self to a place where we find great joy when people accomplish stuff. And I'll say this, it's just dangerous it's dangerous for me, especially because I think people understand that I have a friendship with you, and there are times when I get uncomfortable with even that in the framework of work.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is I don't want people think that I'm just constantly, nodding my head at everything you say and patting you on the back and saying you're the greatest of all time. But I will say that one of the most attractive things about you as a CEO and as an owner of a company is I really do deep down believe that you care about people. And quite honestly, it took me a while to get there, right? Because I think all of us, especially in our current society, are just bent towards there's an alternative motive for everyone in a high position.
Yeah.
Right. This whole BS of, hey, my dream has to be big enough for everyone else's dreams just doesn't seem like it can be real. And as I've had conversation with you over the years about individuals in this company, you're never dismissive. Like, you really do genuinely care about people. You really do I really do believe that this enterprise is not just a matter of the company getting to $250 million so you can, get the Brian belt and thrust it up in the air at a company meeting one day. But it really is, if I get to $250 million, there are a lot of lives. And we say it all the time in leadership meetings, right? It's not, we have 200 employees now. It's not 200 lives.
Yeah.
It's not even the 800 lives we talk about when we extend to families. It's if this person is able to accomplish the things that brings them fulfillment, and to your earlier point, can walk through a door, whether it's the door of their home or Target, and they can be filled with the joy that we're talking about and just have a positive impact. The ripples. Who knows how many people are impacted by that? And I really genuinely think that that's you, that that's your character, that's who you are as a person. So, and again, I did not wake up, day one believing that.
Yeah.
It took me a while to really gain confidence that that's who you are and ultimately what you want.
Now I will still hoist that
kudos to you.
That belt up.
You should.
But no, I appreciate that. Thank you. That means obviously a lot to me. So thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get on to yours.
Real
What
simple.
You got? You've got it memorized.
Yeah. Robert Frost. Robert Frost has a short little quote that I think it was probably around the 2012 mark when I was transitioning from my life as a minister to layperson. And the quote is, God, now I'm under pressure. I feel like either the guys in PDPs when you say, hey, what are the 5 pillars? And I say all the time, and we just had it in one of our leadership meetings. Will you stop that? In one of our leadership meetings, where as long as you look down, you can remember it. But the minute you look up and make eye contact, it's like, oh my God, all that pressure that I feel from other people is there. So he says, the best way out is through. The best way out is through. And the impact that's had not only throughout the last 15 years, but very recently is simply this. I've always struggled with the hard stuff. Right. I can hide better than anybody else. I did it yesterday. You know how I hide at big social events? I throw away pizza boxes. I clean up.
Oh, you focus on like tidying.
Yeah. I'm very introverted, and so there's a lot of social pressure.
When somebody
and anxiety.
catches you throwing the boxes away, are you like, I'm busy? Is that like
No.
Your
I
head?
love that.
Okay.
See,
so you want to
oh
be
yeah, walk
interrupted.
with me. Let's talk.
Okay.
In fact, walk with me. We'll talk at the garbage
he's
disposal.
like, let's get by this garbage bin.
Yeah, man. We'll
That's
talk
where
for
the
hours
real-
out here.
Real
I
conversation.
love those conversations, right? I
Yeah.
love this conversation.
Yeah.
I love deep, real, personal conversations. It's the mayoral candidate type events where you feel like you need to shake every hand. You need to make people feel like you're noticing that they're there, you're acknowledging, and it's just outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's not important, but it's outside of my comfort zone. And that's a hard thing for me to do, right?
So you saying, do you bring that up in the context of you want to try and push through your introvertedness?
I said it. It's not just my introvertedness, but I said it. We had a service meeting a couple of weeks ago where we were talking about task.
Yeah.
And I said the strategy for me that's worked is whatever's hardest, I'm knocking out first.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, because of my anxiety, my day's screwed until it gets done.
It's going to weigh. Yeah.
It's just going to nag at me and make me feel uncomfortable. No matter how, all those, I could have 99 very enjoyable small tasks that I would love to check off my stupid little, check legal pad. But if I don't do the one hard thing first, the 99 are not going to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so for one, it's a reminder of that. It's just like buckle down, push through it, get through the hard stuff, right? Don't try to avoid it. Don't try to push it away. Certainly don't try to hide.
Yeah.
The other thing that's important to me is, as someone who has always struggled with anxiety, is to get to an anxious place and remind myself that 58 years of troubles have produced me. And I may not like this journey I'm about to go on, or in my mind, the worst possible case scenario that could happen. But some good can still come out of it, right?
Yeah.
There's still me on the other side. There's a better me. There's a more refined me on the other side. So it doesn't mean, I like to say it like this. I'll shut up and then I'll ask for your thoughts on it. But the quote to me, it's like historical potent, right? But presently impotent. And what I mean by that is, yes, I can see over the whole of my life that all the challenges I've faced have morphed me and molded me into a decent human being. So historically, that quote has a lot of power. At the moment, if you said to me, hey, Todd, here's a fork in the road. You can either choose suffering for your family or you can choose ease. I'm choosing ease. Presently, it has no power, right? I don't give a crap how much pain and suffering and the hard stuff has produced good in my life. I don't choose it, right? I'm never going to choose it. But I'm at least able to, as I fret over things, go. Perfect example, yesterday afternoon. My youngest son, who's 21, comes upstairs. He's like, and he'd been in the river all day, floating down the river. So I don't know if you've ever been in a river, and probably a pretty chilly river. But
I was going to say, with all the rain?
Yeah, you spend a day in the river, and it wears you out.
Yeah.
He said, Dad, I am going to go to Coyote Joe's with my friends. So honky-tonk line dancing, and we're going to be there till 1. I said, okay. Need to be careful. He's wait, there's one other thing. we've decided that we're going to go to Buc-ee's afterwards. 2.5 hours away.
Right, so when the
1 o'clock.
honky tonk stops at 1,
Yeah. They're going to hop in a car.
drive.
They're going to drive to a big convenience store in Florence, South Carolina, and drive. So 5 hours. So some poor fool is going to be, after spending a day in the river, spending another 5 hours at a honky tonk line dancing and bull riding, going to get in a car and going to drive. And so everything in me, like at that moment, was like, what the are you thinking? Like, who came? I literally said to him, hey, just curious, who came up with this idea? Like, who? And then, like, breathe, took a breath, and I said, okay, here's the deal, kiddo. I just want to say, I love your adventurousness. It's one of the things I love about you. And I definitely do not want to quench that. Like, I love the fact that you're 21. You just feel like you can do all this. You don't have the burdens of family and life and responsibilities that maybe I have. I just said, I just want you to think through. It is 5 hours in a car after a very long day when you're probably going to be sleepy. So I just want you to think about it. But in the days past, I think what would have happened is I just wouldn't have slept at all.
Yeah, you'd been up all night.
I have the ability to see him on Google to see where he's at, and I just would have, from 1 o'clock in the morning until he got back. He got back about 6:30 today.
Yeah,
I just would have watched it, and instead, it's like the worst possible scenario is going to happen or not without me staying up. Like in other words, if it happens, it happens. So I'm going to have to deal with it. And I can't imagine dealing with that worst possible scenario.
yeah.
But myself on a phone isn't going to change it from happening, right? I've let go. I've let him be free. I've let him be an independent 21-year-old. And I just have to trust that that's going to happen. And if it does happen, I've gained confidence that I'm a perseverer, that I'm going to get through it. Like, I'm not going to curl up in a ball and die. I'm going to get through it. I don't know that in that situation I'd be better. It'd be hard to convince me that would be one that I'd turn out better for.
Yeah.
But it's another case of where, for me, it was like, okay.
But tell me, so your through in that scenario is for him or for you?
I think it's still me. In other words, it's a through. The battle is control.
Yeah.
I want to be in control of this 21-year-old. I want to be able to say to this 21-year-old, you are effing out of your mind. Like, you cannot do this. This is stupid. Yeah. This is dangerous. This is dangerous for you. This is dangerous for other people in the car. This is dangerous for anyone driving down the road as you try to do this.
See, it's funny because my head, the first thing that popped in my head when you said it was the buffalo parable, which I think I looked that up once. I don't even know if that's true.
What buffalo parable?
The one where, what do buffaloes do in storms? You never heard this before? Really?
I don't think so.
So it's like a buffalo runs towards the storm.
Well, it's like my Eagles comment.
To get through the storm faster, because if it runs into the rain, it'll quickly be on the other side of the rain, while the cow goes and hides in the corner of the field and just gets pounded for hours, right?
Yeah.
So that's the basic premise of it. So my head immediately went to like, okay, be the buffalo, like, run towards the storm, don't shy away.
Yeah.
And then, where my mind was going as you were speaking, especially on the kid dynamic, is like that of, like, there are a lot of experiences in my life that I just pray that my kids never have. But it's also like, am I the person I am because I went through those painful experiences?
For sure. Yeah, no doubt.
And it's like you would never wish your kids to have something bad happen to them or lose a loved one or even have a girlfriend break their heart or whatever it may be in that scenario of friends, family, we could all name a million reasons out there.
Yeah.
I don't wish that on anybody.
Right.
But there is a degree of which going through those scenarios, right?
Yeah.
Sharpens the axe.
100%. Like that's the biggest challenge as a parent, right?
Yeah.
Is like you love these little people so much that you would like to put them in a bubble.
That's the danger with what I said earlier about, happiness, about just making those around you happy. Because if you give your kid everything that would make him happy, or if you give in to the technician on everything that they ask for, or the, colleague or subordinate or whatever, if you just give every time your wife wants, it's a tough balance.
Yeah.
Because there is the level of you spoil or you degrade what our standards, there's a lot to unpack there.
It's funny, right? I say to my sons all the time, there is no more powerful or more important word than no.
Yeah.
Be able to say no to people,
Yeah.
to things, you were talking about drugs and alcohol and those abuses, especially my particular sons have histories of abuse in their families.
Yeah.
But the same can be said to us as parents. There is no more powerful word than no. Like we have to reach a stage in our lives where we would much rather them be angry at us for a moment with no, but produce a better outcome than always satisfied with us with a yes, right? But it's hard. It really, really is. And I feel the weight of it even more because, again, I adopted one of my sons at 11 and the other at 14, and they had horrible childhoods. And so I'm constantly wanting to give them everything that they didn't have. I they suffered for so long. I want everything to be a yes. You want to go to California? Hell yes. You want to...
Yeah, you want them to experience what you wanted.
Right. Yeah. I had a good childhood. I experienced certain things. And so it's a real challenge for me. The last thing about the Frost quote that I'll say in regards to work is the other reminder for me is everyone I encounter is not a finished product. I can get really frustrated with people. Yeah. You know that.
Yeah.
I can get really frustrated with people, and I need to consistently remind myself that I'm 58 and I'm nowhere finished. Hopefully I'm nowhere finished. And the 20-somethings that sometimes I just want to shake them and go, why the hell do you think driving to Buc-ee's at 1 o'clock in the morning, 2.5 hours away, is a good idea? I need to be reminded that they're walking through, like they're making their way through.
They have to slowly figure out that 5 hours in a car between 1 and 6:30 a.m. is not a good experience.
Yeah, nor
is a chopped brisket sandwich.
Amen. Yeah, or Buc-ee nuggets or any of the crap they threw down their guzzle last night at 1 o'clock. No, it had been 4 o'clock in the morning when they threw it down.
Yeah.
So, good point. Yeah, it's. I'm very passionate about people getting to a place where community means the least of these.
Yeah.
How can I help those around me just get better?
Yeah.
Be better.
Well, I think that's the other thing is we have, as leaders, sometimes too much expectation of you tell somebody something once.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it. And that's the level. Like that was probably in the past few years, that's been the biggest lesson that I've learned as a leader. I'm going to make some people sick of it. But who's never going to be sick of it is me. Like I need to be comfortable with being repetitive.
Yeah.
I need to be comfortable with telling the same stories over and over. Right. I need to be comfortable with reiterating our pillars all the time, reiterating the mission all the time. Like, I can't let myself get tired, and I can't let myself get upset because I said it before that somebody didn't do it. So it's that level of comfortability with myself that it's not my fault because you didn't do it. That's just human nature. And we're all going to mess up, but we all got to we all have to do our 1 a.m. drives to Buc-ee's to be able to grow. I mean,
I really like what you said there, because it's about ears to hear, right?
Yeah.
And clearly, my son at 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon did not have the ears to hear when Dad said, this is a really stupid thing.
Yeah.
But hey, be bold and be brave. He wanted to hear that more than this really stupid thing. But I'm sure for you, especially, you understand fully what you intend to say, and you believe in working with Matt and others, the good consequences that will come from the actions that you're hoping will be taken. And so I'm sure it's really frustrating to have to repeat a message over and over again.
Yeah, well, that's why it's not. I think what's more frustrating is when you go down the telephone line and you get to the bottom of it, and somebody's like, they're doing this maniacal thing because of it, and it's like, man, I was just trying to make your life easier. Like, I was trying to help.
The bad thing is,
trying to help you.
You have some guys who don't have the ears to hear, but still have the mouths that are speaking forth the truth. Yeah, right. That's the bad thing. You wish they could be both deaf and mute at that point. But unfortunately, it's not the case.
Yeah. All right, we'll call this one Trip to Buc-ee's.
Trip to Buc-ee's. Love you, Tyler. Love you, Bubs.
Appreciate you guys. Well, I think we'll do this more often. Sit down and throw out some quotes and just reminisce. So appreciate you, buddy.
You too, buddy.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.